Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. Those of y'all in the state of Texas and abroad, what's up? It's your boy Paul Miranda coming live and direct from the box. It's the Real Talk Nation trying to give you something new, something fresh, definitely giving you something different from all the rest. Tonight's show, man, I don't know how you going to feel about this. We're bringing in a guy from Utah, my guy Tim Davis, man, Utah Prospects. Will be on live with us shortly. We're going to talk about his program, how long they've been in existence, what they're trying to accomplish as a program, and why they like coming to the DFW so much. Yeah, they coming a little bit. Let me get y'all some light a little bit. Let me get y'all some light a little bit on your boy right now. Huh? Just get that in right there. I'm kind of slipping on my program right now, man. All right, there we go. Let's get this a little over here, a little bit right. All right, so now let me just do a couple of maintenance issues right quick. Let's do a couple of maintenance issues right quick. Make sure everything is going like we need it to be going. First, let me put these on. Can you hear me better now? Oh, y'all can hear me better. Let's see right here what's going on with this. Boom. All right. We're on live and direct right there. Cool. And just want to make sure I can hear everything on here right quick. Nothing. All right, we're good. We're good there. Let me cut that down. Let's make sure we're good here. All right, so as you know, I'm doing this show by myself, y'all. I don't have any, production people, doing anything, because we entrepreneur broke brothers, if you will, right? We're gonna leave it at that right now, right? We're gonna build up towards all that, though. We're gonna build up towards all that. You know how we do. 9 years ago, man, I interviewed this young man with us that's gonna come on here with the old podcast, The Real Talk. Oh, excuse me. It was called The Heat One Nation at that time. As you know, we did that podcast under two different names. The first 4 years, it was under DeSoto Heat One, and then we went to a different location, if you will, and then we changed the name to The Heat One. So let me just put this in like this. Pics. I want to see if something's working right quick on this right fast. I'm trying to get some pictures to download on here for you guys to go through the what's it called? Who Wrote the Smoke tournament, y'all. Before I go off into that, let me just send this stuff over here right quick to my guy. Those of y'all that went, let me open up the chat room. You're right. My bad. Let me just say hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Chat room is open. Chat room is open. Open for discussion. Let's leave it like that. Discussion. All right. There we go. 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 All right. So everything's working right quick. One more maintenance thing I got to do before I go into the show. Send that right here. Boom. Send that over to my friend. Open. Tim 11. Link to the show. Boom. We good. All right. Now, bam, everything's good. I'm just going to put that right there. So we're good. All right. Now, I definitely appreciate y'all's patience on this. All right. So the Who Want the Smoke tournament, man. Kellen Buffington and the crew, man, did an outstanding job. I don't know about y'all, man, but I'm still choking from all that smoke, man. Golly, you had, we already know about the locals that was there, man. 3D Vision, Showtime, Drive Nation, Southern Assault, everybody, You had teams from Utah, the Utah Prospects. You had Dream Vision. You had SOH Elite. The one-on bandit, y'all, was oh my God, Mr. Emmanuel was on fire. Oh my goodness. I just hate I didn't really get a chance to really see him live. I saw the ending, the ending of the Showtime game a little bit for the Friday night game, but oh my God, I seen the dunk, and it made ESPN's top 10 plays for Saturday night. So big shout outs to that young man and the accomplishments that he's done. Hey man, oh my goodness, I got to give a shout out to my boy right here, man, Kevin Freightman. Yo, what's up, cuz? We need to get you to the DF Dub urgently, man. You missing out on some great tournaments. I mean, you had to own the state tournament by the Gasso, and now who want the smoke? I'm going to say this right now. Every year from here on out, unless something crazy happens, if you ain't at the Who Wants to Smoke tournament from here on out, man, don't even say you're a basketball fan. Don't even talk to me about basketball. You can't debate anything with me. I'm talking to anybody, not you, just Kevin. I'm saying anybody overall right now, man. So I'm just saying that tournament is that hot. I want to remind y'all something right quick, man. This was this young man's second year of this tournament, by the way. I want to make sure that we get that understood right now, dude. Coach Jay, what's up, man? Just Duncanville Panthers in the house. I see you, man. I want to get something straight right quick, man. This Kellen Buffington dude, where the hell did he come from, huh? Let's be real about this. Where did he come from? He was coaching a little team, a mom and pop team called Blueprint 5 3 years ago. And I'm just amazed, man, at the, what the kind of product that he has put out in front of all of us in these last 2 years, man. Got to tell you, man, the teams that he's brought here, like I said, you got the Utah Prospects, Dream Vision, SOH Elite, all Arkansas Red was here. The teams from Austin, the lockdown team, ASAC. You had JL3 from Houston, the Drive Nation team from Houston, man. You're just all over. Teams from Arizona, teams from Colorado. I mean, it was just everywhere, man. Just jam-packed, man. And don't talk about social distancing into this one, because that was the wrong place to even bring that conversation up right now, because everybody wanted to see the smoke. And I definitely think that Kellen Buffington and his staff delivered that. All right, in the green room right now, my man is here. Let's bring my man in, man. My dude, Tim Davis. Tim,
hey,
man, you got a little sunshine out there, don't you?
Yeah, I'm actually. You'll laugh. I was just mowing the lawn. You when you leave for these tournaments, you gotta do something when you come home, right?
No doubt.
I've just been mowing the lawn. How you been? Thanks for having me on the show.
Man, no, man, we thank you for coming on, brother. This is, I know this was again, we were supposed to have you on last week. We had a little something that came up. But just glad that we could get you back on here, because I know everybody's time is limited right now. You got kids, you got your program and so forth, man. So trust me, we appreciate you coming on, man. Mowing the yard. I was just talking about the tournament this weekend. Who Wants to Smoke, man? I mean, you've been to a couple of Dallas tournaments now here recently. Tell me about your experience this weekend and how it compared to all the other events that you've been to here in Dallas.
Yeah, so we've been, I'd say we've been to Buff's event twice. Last year in August, I think it was in August, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a little bit later than normal, and then this year we came, just recently last weekend, and and we've come to some other things here. The thing that he does is, and it's pretty unique, is it's hard to run events and get all the shoe teams there as well as the best independent teams, because sometimes there's just politics involved. People, I don't like this guy, so I'm not doing this, and this guy offended me, so I'm not doing this, and there's Nike teams there, we're an Adidas pro, and we don't care. Like, for us, it's just like, let's play the best teams, and that's what it was about, and that's what it is. Like, we don't care what our record is walking away, and whether it's 4-0 or 0-4, and it's just about getting better, and that's what Buff did. Is he got teams from all over. I think 7 or 8 different states, and all the shoe platforms was there. As well as some of the best independent teams, not just in Texas but in the country. So.
Did you get a chance to see any other teams, man? I know it's hard, man, getting to really look at teams when you got to coach your own team and so forth, and then you got a 17 seed because you coach the 16s, right?
Yeah, I help with the 16s, and I'll be a little more involved with the 17s going forward. But
okay,
and Lynn, who runs the club with me, he actually he coaches the 17s this year. I did it last year, and I did see some 17s. The team I didn't get to see because I think they were at Duncanville the whole time, and Buff set it up for us because our hotel was in right by the Thrive Nation facility, and it made it nice. We weren't having to hop all over the world, and we got out of the airport, went to the hotel, and then played our games. And I didn't get to see the Night Riders. I heard they had a good group. I've seen 3D Empire before, and the Night Riders I heard are very good. And I think even Southern Assault Vaughn's group, I know they end up going 1 and 2, but I'll tell you, I mean, in my opinion, they're one of the best 10 teams in the country for sure. And and I think there's a group of, I always say there's probably a group of 20 teams that can beat each other on any given night most years. And I think that happened a little bit this weekend, and 3D beat the Night Riders. And and I think when 3D gets going, I've seen it against us, our 17s this year earlier, and when they get going, they spread you out, and your bigs are chasing and chasing and chasing, and it just makes it hard. And he's had that group together for a long time, so if you haven't played together, they can just make you chase that ball all over and make shots on you. So.
Now, you said that last team was who that you were talking about right there?
3D Empire.
3D Empire, one of my favorite teams, man.
Yeah, they are. They make it hard, especially if they're making shots, and all their guys are. They make it hard to guard because they'll go small on you and have Anthony playing the defensively the center, and then your center has to guard him, or you got to play a zone, and you don't want to play zone against them. So it's just it's a lose-lose,
Yeah. One of my favorite teams, man. I love Anthony Black, but my guy is Slim Dog Millionaire, man. I sometimes can't get it out. Ryan Agarwal, man, going to Stanford, man. What do you think of him, man? Seeing him live.
The thing that I think is going to help him more. I mean, he has, in my opinion, he has the 2 greatest skills in basketball now. I mean, there's other things like athleticism, but I think he's got some length, and that's not the skill, but it's the shooting to me, and he plays hard. And if you can have those things, and I mean, you got to have size. Basketball is a game of giant people, right?
No doubt.
But
no doubt.
he has that on the wing, but he has the 2 greatest skills on top of the size that, that's going to help.
You froze up on me.
Still?
Okay, there you go. Okay, yeah, it froze up a little bit. Yeah, I think he might have a little helicopter flying by him a little bit. I don't know.
Is that better?
There you go. You all right? So obviously, man, you like the 3D Empire team, man. You're an Adidas squad and so forth. Talk to me about your thoughts on Dream Vision, seeing what they look like.
Yeah, what was the last part you said there?
Dream Vision. You're an Adidas squad, man. Talk to me about what you thought of them.
Yeah, and I didn't mention them because I think I saw more in Atlanta than I saw them. They're in Atlanta with us.
Okay.
And Clay always does a good job. I mean, they're one of the reasons. Like, Clay called me and said, "What events are you going to?" And I told him about this event, and he just said, "What do you think? Is it a must?" And I said, "Yeah." And you remember when Dream Vision came to my event?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
When you guys
were
there. So one of his assistant coaches, Kenny Franklin, he was the one coaching that team, and he still helps coach Dream Vision. And so there's a relationship there. And I just told him, I said, it's a must-see event and a must-come to event. And, and that's what they did.
Hold on. Time out. Kenny Franklin was here?
Yeah, he was there, man. His hair's a little gray.
Oh, you gonna make me call and cuss him out right now, man. How you gonna come to Dallas and don't speak? That's my dude. Remember Kenny was with Uzi Elite back in the day, too.
Yes.
Back then. That's my guy, man.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
My heart is broke now. I didn't get the chance to see him, dude. That's one of my guys, man.
His hair's a little grayer. Don't tell him. I'm losing mine, but his hair's a little grayer. Yeah, hey, and I gotta go to something, But,
that's life, man. A lot of guys don't get to get to live our age. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the way the times are these days, it's a blessing to be this old now. You know?
No, no question, no question, and it's we're grateful that we got to come out to the event and that Buff puts us. I mean, he gives us the 4 games, which is not everybody gets them, and he knows we're
Yeah,
traveling a long distance,
yeah,
and
yeah,
and he says we just tell him just give us the gauntlet. That's it, because it's not.
yeah, yeah.
We're not traveling across the country just to play bad teams. We can
No
drive
doubt, no doubt.
to Vegas and we can go to Utah, and I'm not saying they're all bad, but it's just we have to have a different style of basketball and play against different teams. So
No doubt, no doubt. I was reminiscing a little bit earlier today, and looking at some of the old files from my previous podcast back in the day when, when I was really heavily involved as far as the aspect of running of the team and so forth, and putting teams together and so forth. The defenders back in the day
Dallas
were,
Defenders, Houston Defenders, I
yeah,
remember.
yeah, yeah. And I met you, had the pleasure of meeting you 9 years ago, man. Almost 10, really.
Crazy.
And you came on the show. Back then, we didn't have this video stuff, man, did we? It's a whole lot
No,
better getting to see you now.
no. I
And
mean, I look better on voice than I do on camera.
get out of here, man. You still a pretty boy, man. And we don't have to go there on that. But uh, Thurl Bailey, man. Let's talk a little bit about your program. How that, I know Thurl Bailey had a kid and he might have outgrown that, and of course he's still broadcasting and everything now. Talk about that transition from, him changing into, because what team were y'all? Y'all were X Factor or something? Or was that the name of the gym?
No, we were X Factor. That was
Yeah, that's what I thought.
so we were X Factor at the time, and Brennan had played for us, and we had a group, and it was sort of at a crossroads after that 8th grade year. Lynn, who ran the Utah. Can you hear me still?
Yes, sir. I do.
Yeah, Lynn, who ran Utah Hoops, who runs the program with me now. He approached me, and then Pump and Run approached Thurl and I, and Thurl felt like it was, and we still got a good relationship. Thurl's a great guy, and he felt like it was best to do the Pump and Run thing, and then his kid ended up playing for Dream Vision, so it ended up getting, and then I ended up
Yeah.
going with Utah Hoops, which Lynn and I merged, and at Under Armour at the time had asked us to change it to like Prospects, because they had a couple groups under Prospects, and we did it. And then Frank Jackson came along with the group that I brought over, and Yoli Childs and that
Yeah,
group, and
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was a hell of a group.
and so they came over, and then Adidas went and watched Frank at the Tarkanian Classic, and he scored 56, and I think Yoli had 30 and 22, and after that they offered us a deal and said, hey, we'd love to have you part of Adidas, and that's sort of where it's come. And Lynn and I have been together for 8 years, I think. And at the end of the day, we I don't it's a bad hobby is what my wife says, but Lynn and I love it. We love the kids. We love being a part of something, and we love teaching the kids to give back and be professional husbands and dads, and not just
Mm-hmm.
basketball players. We don't have very many guys in the NBA too currently, and a guy we think is going to have a chance to get in there this year as well. But for our kids, it's like they got to be prepared to be other professionals than just basketball players.
Okay. I'm glad you brought the wifey in this, man, because man, I always like kind of touch base on that a little bit, man. You've been doing this for years, man,
Yeah.
and how do you balance all that out? And father, dad, husband, coach, CEO, damn near the program you guys with. How do you balance all that out, man? Does that take a toll a little bit, on the relationship? Because I had to put
Yeah.
I had to put my original team up, man. I don't know if I ever told you that. Now, wifey said, "Hey, I can't take all that." So,
It
yeah,
it's hard, because especially when you're like when you feel like you have a good program and you have to play nationally to do it. You're traveling all the time, and one of the things I do is like my daughter came with me. She said so. I have a 7-year-old, a 2-year-old, and then a 10-month-old, and
mm-hmm.
so and it is getting harder, and things will change, and we're getting more help in the program because Lynn and I can't do it all. He's at the opposite spectrum. He just had a grandchild,
Mm.
but so we're just at opposite spectrums. But like I brought my daughter this weekend, and I think you saw her
Yeah,
with
yeah,
me this
yeah.
weekend. And so like some of those things, I take her on trips, and I limit I'd say the wasteful trips where you're just like, hey, we're playing in Salt Lake this weekend and playing 5 games, because it's just not a weekend that needs to happen. if we're going to practice, let's just practice against college guys and push ourselves instead of just like, hey, let's go to Vegas for a couple of days and, we don't know who's there, who we're playing. And like for us, it's like we just have to, if we're going to spend money and time away from family, we got to go play teams,
Right.
and that, and then and at the end of the season, I always do something. We always do something together, my wife and I, to get away, just to, we get a sitter or have my in-laws help, and her and I just get away for 3 or 4 days to be like, hey, and I try to take care of her with massages and pedicures and all that stuff. But,
All right.
so,
All right.
hey, you
I
got
like
it
that.
right.
I'm trying to get in. I'm trying
keep
to find out how you get that. What's the secret to keeping that relationship going as long as you've been doing this, man? So I just had to ask right quick, man. So, and maybe that kind of helps somebody out there that's younger than us that are trying to balance the same thing out, needs a couple little tips. I try to, ask a guy like yourself, man, what's the secret?
Hey,
so
you've been married longer than I have. So.
Yeah. Well, but it's a difference. You know what I'm saying? You're still in the coaching thing and so forth. And, we always found that to be the hardest part, man, dealing with so many kids. And I don't know how many you guys have over there, but I know you got a 16s, a 17s, a 17s, 16s, and 15s. How far down the line do you guys go?
That's pretty much it. There's some programs tied to us that are younger, but they're not necessarily affiliated with us. And it's just like you said, it gets to the younger stuff's hard because it's all year long. You have to have ties on it and beats on the younger stuff and have relationships. But you were in it and it's hard. When you're one of the best teams in the country, like you guys were at the time, you got to go play dudes. You can't just stay home all the time because you're beating teams by 30 or 40. You got to go play teams.
No doubt.
Dunk dog.
Yeah. What happened to that, man? Dan Corciani, my man.
Yeah,
that was a hell of a group, man. That was a hell of a group.
They're the number 2 ranked player in the country at the time. That was a good team.
That was. Let me ask you something, man. Thinking back on that now, because I've got a hot topic that I'm kind of working on right now. It's a little show that I'm working on. We got these European players that still come in and so forth, right? We got a group that's here in Dallas now that I've tried to get on the show a couple of times and kind of, talk about, how are we making sure these kids are legit? And because you were in the 2016 class, you know about the kids that, back in the day. I don't know if you remember the Team Penny ring of it wasn't. Let me not make it sound like it was Team Penny that was doing it, but they had a couple of handlers that had a ring of African kids coming down, and they got busted in Arkansas. You remember Adrian Moore's dad?
Yep. Yeah.
Remember Adrian Moore's dad and all that?
Yeah.
All them dudes was like, man, got a ring of kids, and come to find out, these kids were older than what they really were. What they were saying they were. And the kids told off on the handlers and the program. So, did you ever hear about that story?
No, I didn't actually. I know Adrian, those guys, and I remember because they came to the event, and it's you look at some of those kids and where they're at, and I always say this. I said the cream rises to the top, and in Utah, you don't see it as much. You see it in every state, like kids being held back and held back and held back, and multiple holdbacks or whatever it is, but you don't see it here a lot. I think education is probably more important than sports here to a lot of people because, I told you, we're not getting pro after pro, and some people get so caught up in being the best player in 8th grade, and and being like, man, I'm ranked number 1 in the country, and and Kalea Turner, he was a good player, and he was number 1 or number 2 at the time, and then I think sometimes you get burnt out or you don't love it, and people force you to love it, and I'm not saying that's the case with him because I actually saw him his junior year at UMass. I was actually at a kid, Yoli Child, that played for me, and I went out to New York and watched them play, and they played UMass, and he was actually playing the game. He didn't play a lot, but I couldn't believe it because I hadn't heard of him for years, you know?
Yeah.
And so, I don't know what the answer is with that because it's just like the problem is adults. There's adults that try to control kids because the kids can get them something long term instead of doing what's best for the kids. And, you can't blame any kid, because it's just like the kid's going to, especially if he's, an international kid, he's going to say, hey, come over here. You got to say you're this age. So we can get this done and this done. And the kid doesn't know. He wants to stay here in the country, right?
No doubt. Yeah, because we had a kid, man, that, this situation kind of blew up big time, man. I saw this kid play, and he was like a grown ass man,
Oh, was
dude.
he at that high school? The article on that high school, wasn't it? He was, he was 25 years old or whatever, and people had saw him play at another high school, another state or
Yeah.
something.
No, no, that happened here. That happened here in Texas. But
That's what
no,
I thought. Yeah.
we just had a recent situation where a kid overseas, a kid comes from overseas, and he played 3 years in the French league, and professionally, 14, 15, and 16. Now, come to find out, and I didn't know much about the how they do it in the French league and so forth. But as we started investigating on it and so forth, you come to find out that the tier that he played in, they got three tiers of basketball levels there, and the first two get paid. The third, some get paid, some don't. He phones in, and
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
kid claimed that he didn't get paid, and so which is cool.
Is he
We're
the
good
kid
with that.
that played at Prolific?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
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 That
Okay, I
kid.
heard about it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So and I'm not really looking at just him now. You know what I'm saying? That I tried to give it's amazing how all these other people come up when you're talking about one person that's in that same arena, if you will.
Yep.
I had an organization, a school, come up to me saying, "Hey, that kid is legit. Blah blah blah. I can get this guy from the federation to come on, this agent to come on and tell you, and so forth, right?" And when it came time to do the show, 30 minutes before the show, they cancel out. You know what I'm saying? So, you
Yeah.
know,
It's crazy.
I was just gonna let it go, but now I'm intrigued. Now, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
give me a
Yeah.
chance to come and explain this stuff. And what I was getting at was here. We got a lot of parents out here, man, that get tired of dealing with these older kids playing against their kids.
Yep.
And for instance, how old is Don Maker? You know what I'm saying? How old did we end up finding out he was after all them years being in the
Yeah.
2016 class, right? He's supposed to be 1 year old older than everybody. He was legit. He's just a grade exception, right? Turns
Yep.
out draft day, he ended up being 3 years older than
Older.
everybody. Yeah, and then
Uh,
2 years after that, now we find out he's 5 years older than us. So what I wanted to try to do was build a show to show how some of these organizations, what they're doing to help prevent stuff like that from happening, what kind of documentation are they securing, and so forth. So, that's what I was getting on that. So, but that's going to be for another day and so forth. But I brought it up just to see, do you guys have that in your area, and was it
Not.
bad? And you kind of cleared it up by saying, hey, you guys more of an educational state
Yeah.
than more athletic, like it is here in Texas. A lot of these, I definitely think the state of Texas and California and Florida and some of those more athletic states are definitely more geared towards athletics than it is more academic. So,
Yep.
so point definitely well taken. All right, so let's get back. Let's flip it back. The 2016 class.
Yep.
I often talk with Buff a lot about how special that class was, and how basketball just really, honestly, top to bottom, to me, hasn't really been the same.
Yep.
2015 was okay. 2014 was real good. The talent in 13, 12, and 11, it's just, those were killers back then. You know what I'm saying? And the game
Yep.
has changed to me. Give me your state of the union, where you think the game is right now. Give me your assessment of that.
I think there's, I think you're right. I mean, the thing that was so good about that class was, I think, and not necessarily there's the guys like Tatum and, you're looking back at Bam and guys who've already made all-star games. And I think Harry would have been special if he would have stayed healthy.
Yes.
Um,
Yep.
but I think what made that class so good was not necessarily the top end, because there's some classes like 17 had some top end guys like Trey and Porter and some of those guys and
Mm-hmm.
DeAndre and things like that. But what
Mm-hmm.
made that class so good was the depth,
Yeah. Yeah.
the depth behind it. But
Yes.
what the problem is with AAU basketball, we're all behind it a little bit too, I think, is the social media and you know, we're nominating kings before they earn anything. And that's, I mean, you look at a kid like, and he's a great kid, and I love the We Are One guys, and he played for them for a little while as well as I think the Blue Devils, but the DC Devils, I believe.
Uh
But
huh.
you look at a kid like Trayvon Duval, and it's just like, and and you're number 4 in the country and all this stuff and pushed and hyped, and everybody's like, he went to the wrong spot. He went to the wrong spot. And it sometimes you don't
I,
just jam someone down the throat. You know what I think would have been great for him? Play another year of college, grow and develop your game, and just everybody wants the quick fix, the quick answer, and we're all to blame for it.
mhm. I I liked the kid. I was actually one of the ones that didn't really feel he was going to go that far. It just felt like the baggage, too many bags to carry was going to be a huge hindrance for me. Um,
Yep.
Got great talent, no doubt about it. The kid was a great talent, but I try when I make assessments on situations like that. I'm looking at the whole shebang. What I can find, I want to know the good and the bad about a person, and what's around them can definitely affect how far you're going to go in this business, and that's what I've learned throughout this game. Um, Frank Jackson, you brought him up, man. What was that like coaching him, man? Because that dude was kind of like, and he's kind of like a bag kid. You know what I'm trying to say? And give me the skinny man on what that was like, because you were all on that one. You know what I'm saying? And any crazy stories, man, about that, that you can share with me on that? Because I know I
Yeah.
had some crazy stories with Keys, with Marquise, and so, but it's
It's
anything on that? Go ahead.
and I told you about the game. So a crazy story is I remember, his ultimate long term dream school was Duke, and I still remember it being Duke. And he wasn't ranked anything by anybody. He was like top 50 by because guys like Gershon, a couple of guys that saw him and things like that. And here's what I sort of said to myself. Everybody's like, "How good is he?" And I said, "He's a top 30 kid, that's for sure." And after that, it all depends on what you like and what you don't like, unless you're like a genetic freak, right?
Yeah,
And so
he
we're
shot up
playing.
quick.
Oh, he shot up quick. So we're playing, and this is when Adidas did some Super Bowls. Our first year in Adidas, they put us in a Super Bowl. We're playing Michigan Mustangs, which had Bowen, and then they had the big kid that went to Michigan. I forgot his name. And then we also had to play Compton Magic that week in Indiana Elite, which had Kyle Guy and Matthew Moyer. And
Kyle, yeah, Kyle the shooter at Virginia. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and then we played, Mario Kegler and those guys that same weekend. They sort of stuck us in a pool, and
Yeah.
Coach K and Shire, they were watching right next to us. They were watching Dennis Smith versus Kobe Simmons, the 2 point guards that were sort of number one to them, right? Their
Right,
number
right.
one, their number one priority. And I had talked to Shire one time before,
Uh-huh.
and his dad. I'll give you the little backstory. So I'm at this game, and he's actually playing Thurl Son's team, Brendan, and Shire's like texting me during the game. Like back then, it's like the games aren't live streamed, so I'm like, how does he know what's going on? His
Right, right.
dad was a consultant for the University of Utah. Johns was, and so he
Okay.
came and watched Frank. And Frank put a couple guys in a bag, a body bag, and
Yeah.
and he was playing unreal. And so it sort of piqued Shire. And his dad, he told me the story. He said my dad said he's a no brainer for us, which is weird, a kid from Utah. So
Yeah.
anyway. Fast forward to April, we're in Indiana. I mean, in Dallas, excuse me. Out your way at
Gauntlet.
the Bob Knight Field
Yeah.
House.
The gauntlet. Yeah.
And yep, exactly, the Gauntlet back then. And so they're watching Kobe and Dennis play head to head, and I
Yeah.
see Coach K, and he's right over my left shoulder. And this is what Frank's dad told me, because his wife was there. His dad was my assistant coach.
Okay.
Um, and he best assistant coach. I mean, there was one game I remember I sat Frank 18 minutes, and his dad was so mad at him because he wasn't rebounding, wasn't guarding.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so great family. But so anyway, Shire taps Coach K's shoulder, and Frank I think had 37 against Mustangs in that game. He taps
Okay.
Coach K's shoulder, and they both just turn, and start watching our game. And then after the game, I probably shouldn't even say this, but after the game, because you're not supposed to communicate with kids during an event, but oh
Brother,
well,
brother, brother.
dumb rule.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Coach K texts Frank, and I'm over checking us in after our first game. You know how you have to do all the dishes and check everybody in and do all that stuff before you can get anything, like all your NCAA stuff. So I'm doing that after the game, and Frank's calling me like 40 times. And I'm like, dude, like what? I gotta get us checked in so we can get to the hotel and sleep. We got an early game tomorrow. And he's like,
Yeah.
Tim, what do I say? What do I say? Coach K just texted me this. Like, hey, this is Coach K from Duke, and it. That's what's so cool. Is it's cool seeing, and he's in the NBA now, and it's his 5th year. or his fourth
Yes,
year, and
yeah.
he's 23 years old.
Who is he
But
playing with now?
Pistons. He's
Okay,
averaging 10
good.
he's averaging 10
Yeah,
in a game right now. And they're not good, and they sort of took him on a two-way. He had a hard time in New Orleans, and he came back from that
yeah.
foot
I
injury, and
remember that. Yes.
sounds like the Pistons love him. And I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
averaging he's if he finishes averaging 10 points a game, he'll be the highest scorer ever on a two-way contract. So,
Wow, wow. That's awesome.
but
That's
great
awesome,
kid,
dude.
great family. That's my story. So,
I remember this. You had told me that about Frank's dad. How he was your assistant coach and so forth. You had told me that story about you had said it one day. Great stuff there, man. Um, any kid, man, that you felt like you coached, man, back in the day, that you feel like should have been there, should have been more. I mean, injury, anything, you just really feel bad for that probably should have been higher, that just,
you know,
situations just prevented him from getting there.
I have a kid at BYU right now, and he's been hurt 2 times already. He went on a mission. He was in that same class, Gavin Baxter. Some people had him
Nice.
ranked.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
I
know,
remember him.
some
Yeah.
people had him as a top 75. He was on that team with Frank and Yoli.
Yeah.
And some people had him as a top 75 kid in the country, and he's 6'9" with a 7'3" wingspan, a 42-inch vertical,
Ooh, ooh.
and he just runs like a deer. And he's just been hurt, and it's sort of been, he's finally healthy 100% right now after labrum surgery, and he's going to be a junior at BYU. And it's like, hey, you just don't know. I mean, you never know. It sounds crazy. Like everybody anoints these kids, and it's not his fault. He got hurt, and you. That's what's so hard about this deal. These kids, like a kid like Ray Smith who went to Arizona, who played for the Las Vegas Prospects, big time
Mhm.
player, and he got hurt 3 times with his knees, and he's probably a kid that's in the NBA if he doesn't. And it's
Okay.
just
Okay.
that's why I think the whole problem is just like, just let these kids be kids.
All right.
Why
All right.
why do we have posters of 16-year-olds at events? You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Speaking of
so,
which, man, you just segued into a hot topic right now. The likeness is getting ready to
oh,
go. Give me your thoughts on what do you think basketball is going to look like once that goes into play?
it's interesting to me. I think the guys 1, 2, and 3 on most colleges will be taken care of.
All
It's
right, all right.
the rest of the guys might need to be paying for school, because if we're saying every guy on the team gets money or name, image, and likeness based on how they perform and how popular they are,
Yeah,
the 10, 11, 12 guys on scholarship and 13 probably should be paying the schools. you know.
it's
So
gonna get ready to be interesting, man. It's gonna be
no,
interesting.
I mean, here's what I believe, because I've had some kids that have been topping guys at schools, and they're asked to go to the booster meetings, and they're also on the Nike posters at the school, and having to do
Okay,
extra stuff and things like
okay.
that. And they should be compensated, because they're doing stuff that the guy that's. I mean, do you think the booster wants to see the top guy, or do you think the booster wants to see the eighth guy? You know.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. We could definitely
So
agree on that. I like that. I like that answer, man. One of the hot topics here in Texas, going into high school basketball now, if you will. And I don't know much about Utah basketball. I might be coming up there in December for Utah hoops, some
yes.
tournament the first week of December. Give me the skinny, man. You guys got a shot clock there in Utah?
No, but that NFHS thing passed, and I think you see all these coaches, these high school coaches on Twitter attaching the Utah High School Athletic Association, like, we're next. We got to get ready for this. And I have a good relationship with the director, and everybody wants them to make the rules, but they're under the federation, the National Federation, and so I think it's going to happen. I don't think the basketball's worse for it here, besides at the end of quarters and the end of games. I think that's when it becomes awful.
Okay.
The shot, because I mean, here's the thing: unless you're really old school coach, you don't want to take 30 seconds off the clock.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless it's. I mean, you'll see coaches sit the last minute of a half of a quarter though here, and just burn the clock for one shot. And you're like, come on, dude! Like, we're here to play and watch these kids. And I
Right.
also think it'll help increase the number of touches, and the game reps, and things like that, and decision making in basketball in the U.S.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I,
So
I
you're a
think it's
fan. You're
coming.
a fan of it, right?
Oh, yes, and it's coming. Like, it's coming. I mean, I don't care what anybody says. By 2022, 2023, I think you'll have at least 30 to 40 of the states have shot clock.
Okay. Okay. I like that. There
And
go
you
my
saw
dude.
that today, right? That it passed?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. As a matter of fact, we were tweeting it about it as well, man. We were trying to we were trying to check up on that to see what the status was on it, and then we put it on Twitter just to see what the pulse of the streets was going to be a lot. And they're like, finally, everybody pretty much wants that here, man, because we're getting
Yep.
tired of seeing the end of the games, man, to where um, it's really making the game boring at the end. And coaches are taking the air out the ball, man, and it's no fun for the fans, no fun for the kids either, man.
Nope.
Uh,
And that's what it's about, the
especially once it's
kids.
losing. But yeah, Arkansas. I got a guy on here, Nick Neal, is in the chat room. He said Arkansas has it, so I guess some of the states are surrounding us are starting to get on board with that shot clock thing, man. He says also in their highest classification is 6A. Speaking of which, how do y'all do y'all's down there? Classifications, big
Six A,
school.
1A to 6A. Yeah.
Okay, okay, cool.
1A is the smallest. And that brings up a good point that Nick said. Is the real question is this: is it going to be all classifications, or is it going to be the 5A, 6A, 4A, 5A, 6A?
Yeah, yeah,
Because some of the younger schools, the funding and the coaches might want it's just it's a different game at a different level, and the skill set a lot of times is different.
yeah. No doubt, I agree on that. Man, that's kind of crazy, man. I'm just thinking about all that, man. Where we've been to where we might be transitioning into a shot clock. So I hope I get to live to see that day. So I'm,
You
as
will. You're young.
big as a high school guy I am, man. Uh, Lone Star, what was it? Lone Peak. Man, they used to
Yep.
be the bomb, dude. Who's the team out there right now?
Oh, geez. I mean, we have Wasatch Academy here, but they're not. They usually don't have
Wasatch.
mostly Utah. They don't have a lot of Utah kids on their roster, which is fine. Great. They do a good job. Paul's the coach there, and
Okay.
I think the high schools right now, I'd say going into next year, I'd say there's four high. And it's different. I mean, like Lone Peak was running the state for a while, and Quincy left. He's actually now at Lehigh last year. In his first year at Lehigh, won a state championship. Um,
Okay.
but and he's actually helping with that event you're coming to. And American
Okay.
Fork will be in it, which has Jackson Kohler, and Farmington, which has Colin Chandler. Those teams, and probably Davis are the teams that I'd say like, hey, those are the teams you're talking about next year in the state.
Okay.
So
Okay.
there's
Okay.
not you'll see him at this event. I think that you're coming out to. So
Okay. Okay. Um, I know I need to be seeing you out there. You plan on being there, right?
yeah, I mean you owe me dinner, so yeah, for sure.
Yes, man. Damn, man, you would say that, huh? I do owe
Oh,
you that.
hey,
I
hey,
do.
we got a lot of people that just heard that, so I got to make sure you follow through on that.
I don't know what happened to us this week, man. I mean,
I'm
I
sure.
know, I know. Saturday, man. Saturday, I got to going out to. I ended up leaving Drive Nation to go to uh,
Duncanville.
Duncanville and with Jim Hicks. So I'm out hanging with the king of Texas right now, right? And
Yep.
we end up watching one game, the 4 o'clock game, and then decided to go to this little bar restaurant right up the street, and a little hot spot that a lot of us media guys and coaches go to after the games and stuff. And turns out there was a few college coaches in the building.
Oh,
so
geez.
so
That's
that 1 hour that we supposed to be over there ended up being like 3 or 4 hours. So and
hey.
there was a little drinking going on up in there. A lot of water being drank in there, man.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I bet just water that is right.
so what is it? Water and lemons. Yeah. So we were. And the conversations was very good, man. So we ended up getting back out there at 8 o'clock to watch the last 2 games at Duncanville, and so yeah, I didn't get a chance to get back over to that way till late that night. Uh,
You're
uh, and,
okay.
and then we ended up going somewhere that night. So, well, Jim did. I ended up going to pick my son up. Use that as an excuse for me not to go out. Anyway,
Smart man. Smart
yeah,
man.
yeah. So, um, give me the difference, man. Utah basketball versus Texas basketball. What what do you see?
I think the games are more physical in Texas, and the pace and and the athleticism's higher, of course. It's just a higher level than here in Utah. I think sometimes the skill might be higher in Utah with a lot of the kids, and the ability to move the ball instead of the ball. Sometimes some of these teams in Texas and, the ball gets a little sticky, right?
Hmm.
And I think some of these kids here don't have a choice because they can't do enough with the ball in their hands. And, so, I think there's a balance with that. Sometimes it's like, it's good. Like, I mean, when I had Frank, it was like offense was really easy, right? Just put a ball screen and let him make a decision. Um, but sometimes now things are a little bit different. And so, but that's what I'd say the biggest difference. The physicality in Texas and the speed and the pace is a lot higher level. And that's why we come.
So some of the top players, man, that you wanted to get at. I mean, so far in your tour, you've done two tours here for this year, for this season.
Yep.
Um, you know, did you guys get to play, or did you anybody that was
Yeah.
on your list?
Yeah. I mean, it's,
You
I
gotta
mean,
have a smile on me. You gotta have a
yeah, I
smile
mean,
on me.
we played some good teams, and Noah Shelby, and then who's the big kid that plays with Trey Young? We played them the first go round out there. Gosh, what's
Garrison,
his name?
Brandon Garrison.
Yeah, well, that was the 16U. Who's the kid
Oh
that
yeah,
plays for? The kid
uh,
that plays for Trey Young, like 12th, top 20 in the country.
Lee Dort. I'm sorry,
Lee
Lee Dort.
Dort, and then we didn't play Keontae this year. We played him last year, and Case and Wallace last year, and um,
Case Monster.
and gosh, who was uh, uh, Bryce Griggs from JL3,
Right, right.
Austin Nunez, all good players. Gosh, who else have we played? But some good kids. I mean, the kid I think, and I'll just be honest, I think the best kid I've seen in Texas, and people will disagree with me, and because last year when I brought my team there, he played up, of course, a year. We played against him, and we played against Case, and they're both, I mean, top 15 kids nationally, top 20 kids in the country easily.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I mean, I pride myself on defense. The team last year I had was very good defensively, like very, very good. I mean,
Okay.
I gave Vaughn one of his only few losses in 2 years, and not to be braggadocious about it, and had nothing to do. He was missing Harrison, his best
Arizona.
player,
Right, right,
and I wish we would have got to play him and Vaughn just to toot his horn. I mean, he's, in my opinion, with what he does top to bottom, is one of the best directors in the whole country when it comes, and maybe in Adidas. And it's just, he's not braggadocious with everything like some of these other guys are media wise. He doesn't need to be. He'll retweet stuff and talk about his guys,
right.
but he actually coaches his kids,
No doubt, no
and
doubt.
you don't see that a lot with some of these people. But I would say the best player we've seen in Texas is Keontae. That's just me being honest.
Keontae George.
And I,
Mm.
I think, I mean, he's fifth in the country, and he could be third, he could be second, he could be whatever to me, because like, the thing I've seen difference this year from last year is he doesn't turn it off as much, and
Okay.
that's a credit to him defensively and other things, and he does other things, and some of that's maturing or maturation with who he is as a person. But
Right,
he's
right.
he's 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 impressive, dude. Like, and
Yeah,
and everybody's like, is he a point guard? It doesn't matter to me. Like, basketball is not like, hey, are you a point guard? Are you this? It's like
right,
he can be
right,
a
right,
hybrid guard, he can be a combo guard. It doesn't matter,
right,
to
right.
me, because he does, and he's starting to guard this year. That's what I like about him too. He's good,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. He.
You know.
I think a lot of the negativity, press wise, you kind of hit on the nose when you said the off and on switch hadn't
Yep.
been turned off much at all this year, and
Yep.
I think that's people called him out for that. I raised my hand. I was one of those guys. You know,
Yep.
I don't like seeing it. You know me. I'm old school. I want to see it on both ends. I was seeing that in Kaysen,
Yep.
and I love Kaysen Wallace. I love Keontae George as well. I want all my kids here in Dallas, in the DFW,
Yep.
to really to represent their game to the fullest at all times, especially when you're
Yep.
one of those dudes. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So,
No
um,
question.
and that I don't know if you saw it on Baller's Life or not, but when Keontae and Kaysen met earlier this month or
Yeah, I
a
did
couple
see
weeks,
that.
man, Keontae was really, really honed in on putting it on Kaysen this game. Kaysen played them. Kaysen played twice. Wait, three times? No, twice last year, and Kaysen got the best of him both times. But this time around, this year here, he was tired of hearing all the noise apparently, and he was like, "This is my state. Quit with
He's
my
good,
rank."
dude. I mean,
I was like,
he's
"Hey,
good.
Hey,
And Kayson's good too. It's not a knock. We played him
no
last
doubt,
year too
no
at
doubt,
the
no doubt.
event, and someone said on here, 3D Empire ran our 17s out of the building, and I'd say, I saw that on there, and they do a good job. 3D does, and they did. I mean, we hadn't practiced much together when we played them.
They wasn't talking about y'all. Wait a minute, hold on. I put the 3D random. He was talking about Southern Assault.
Oh, I didn't think they played them this year. Have
Yeah,
they?
they played them Saturday night.
Oh, they did. Good. Well, I didn't.
Yes,
I thought they played Night Riders and someone else, but
they
yeah, I
played
mean,
Night Riders Friday. They played. Who was that? They
hey,
played.
I agree with the guy, but who owned the state? That's all I'm gonna say. One game's one game, but who owned the state?
Hey, I got.
And
I'm like in 3D right now, man.
no,
I'm
I
being
agree,
honest
but
with you.
and they won that head to head, but they also lost and they own the state. So you see,
Yeah.
I feel like in
Well,
Texas the basketball is so good that there's probably 5 or 6 teams that can beat each other on different
no
nights.
doubt, no doubt. Agreed,
And
agreed, agreed.
and that's what makes the states. That's why we come. I mean, we don't get that here.
All right. To 3D's defense in that one, they had just lost Nazir Brown, who's like one of their guards that can really he can really play. He ended up tearing his ACL in that, so
Oh,
they kind of took an emotional hit, if you will, in that
jeez.
tournament. And Sean Ward, Coach Sean, who I think is one of the best. I think he is by far, to me, the best coach, X and O's. I don't know
I and
about program.
I told
Go
you
ahead.
how good a
Yeah.
job
Oh, yeah.
those
Oh, yeah.
guys did
Oh,
early in the show. Those guys can coach. They
yeah.
know who their guys are too.
Sean's a mofo for real, and he don't play. And I mean, I don't know if you saw the Twitter action that he had at the beginning of the year, man, with the Night Riders, and he flat out told him he was going to beat him. He don't know. Told him, dude was like, man, you crazy? Are you drunk out there or something, man? It was crazy, but
I
and
love it.
sure enough, they won. It was a great game, man. 3D was up by 18 points on them, man, and Night Riders, who might have been feeling a little jet lag and so forth. They had just arrived from the airport and everything. Might not have been the game to schedule for that night, I guess. But all 3 games for Night Riders were tough. I mean, they played a good 3D team, a good Dallas Showtime team who has Arterio Morris and Jason Third Kidd and Chauncey
Yeah,
Gibson. I mean,
we played him this year. I tell you, he's good.
yeah,
Good
yeah,
player.
yeah. Arterio's real good. Um, they also got to play. Who was the third team they got to play? Hey, you. How you doing?
You say hi. You say hi.
How old is she now?
She's 7. So
7. All right. Awesome. Awesome. I'm trying to think of the third team that the Night Riders played. They played Showtime, 3D, and the Salt.
Southern Assault. Yeah, yeah.
Yep, yep, yep. And they ended up beating Southern Assault.
I
Uh,
saw that.
Close game. Might should have won that game, but and that's where now we say, well, I guess 3D's got to be put number one,
Yep.
because they, you put the head-to-head teams, who they played against. Let's see the Night Riders schedule. Oh,
No, and
hold
that's
on a second.
fair. I mean, I think it's fair. I think that's
So let me.
fair. And
Nick Neal says the Night Riders scheduled Trae Young 2 hours after they landed. Okay. What? Okay, I don't know which one. There must be a different tournament. I'm not sure.
yeah,
Let me just do that right there.
yeah,
But
because
anyway,
Trae Young wasn't in this event. They came to
no,
the
it
other
wasn't.
event.
Yeah, and I don't know how that happened. Trae Young's group is and Buff are real good. I mean, that's a question I got to ask Buff. I didn't
No,
think
well,
about it.
the circuit was going on the same weekend. That's why. And Shelby, that's his event. So he's gonna go play in his own deal. So I think it was at that Hy-Vee place or whatever. In Kansas City, the circuit. That's one of his events, I believe. So
I still say, how do you have an event scheduled on the same day as your boys? I'm
yeah,
just saying.
I'd agree with that. I would
That's
agree.
that's a question I'm going to have to dig into and find out as well. We got to get some real talk about
Tell
that right there. So
Buff's probably freaking hibernating for the next 2 weeks. Probably worn
yeah,
out.
he was. Yeah, he was real tight. I talked with him a couple times a day. The thing about me and Buff, we talk like probably 2 or 3 times a day, Dango. Almost.
Dude, your wise prayer. Like, what's wrong with these old men?
But we're always bouncing stuff off of each other on some stuff, man, and trying to, he helps me stay grounded, if you will. I'm trying to stay grounded a little bit these days as the older I get, right?
Yep, no
So,
question. We all are.
so yeah, big shout outs to Buff and Who Wants to Smoke, man. What's let's go into some of your players, man. Chandler, my dude. Colin, was
He's
it Colin Chandler? Chandler Colin?
Yeah, Colin Chandler, good player. He's
Man.
he's a unique player for Utah. We don't get a lot of kids that can score it as easy as him, and he probably hasn't shot it as well this year, and not because of work as he wants to. It's just just some for a couple weeks. Sometimes you just don't shoot it as well, and that's sort of yeah. You can go over there, babe. Okay.
I'm trying to.
Um,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, you're good. And so it was one of those things where he's just so dynamic off the bounce, and he's so fast, and he can get to the hoop and he take a body and sort of elevate after it and finish. And we don't get a lot of kids that are as dynamic guards as he is. And it'll be interesting to see where he goes. He's got Stanford, Utah, BYU, a couple others in the mix. Creighton's offered him, and some of those schools are involved with him. So it'll be interesting to see where he goes, just where he plays.
Man, you just hit a school that I think he'll be crazy at. I love him at Creighton. He's a Creighton kind of kid. You know what I'm saying? The way
That's what
his
I feel
game's
like.
better. But I'm gonna tell you, man, Stanford is start trying to really, really come up, man. You got Harrison Ingram that's gonna be attending there this fall. You have Ryan Agarwal, next year. I mean, whew, that
Yeah, I mean, it's
thing is getting.
sorry. They're going to be
You're
good.
good.
And, we have Jackson Kohler on that team, who's a ranked 46th in the country by ESPN and one of the best bigs. And then Zach Keller, who I think is an underrated big, and people are starting to recognize him. His name's starting to get out there a little bit. He had a lot of pub in Atlanta and some pub in Dallas. And, and then Langston Reynolds, who's out of Colorado, plays at Colorado Prep. It's a good team. I think there's 3 4-star kids and a 3-star kid, and, then some other low to mid major D1 kids on the team, and it's it's a good group and they play hard. We got to guard a little better. I feel like with that group they got to play a little bit better defensively, but they will. We just need more. It's been a weird year for us, with kids. I don't know why we haven't been able to practice as much with that group as we normally
Okay.
do.
Okay.
But I don't know why it is. It's just a weird year. So
Okay. Yeah, the big fella, man. I was trying to pull that up. I'm having a hard time. My big fella for you guys. Give me the skinny on him, man. I think he was a little banged up.
which one, Keller or Kohler?
I think it is.
Zach Keller
Was
or
it Cole?
Jackson?
Hang
They're
on.
both good. I mean, they both
Hang
have
on.
high major offers, and so
Kohler. Kohler's the one.
yeah,
That's the big fella
Kohler
with the
6.
buzz play, right?
Yep, that's right. The other one
Main
has a little
dog.
moppy
Main
hair.
dog. Yeah, the main
Yeah,
dog.
he's good. He's ranked 46th in the country. I mean, he
Yeah.
just came back from Hawaii for 2 weeks, did a little family vacay there with his family, and so
He
I
seemed a
felt like
little
he was
banged up, like he was dealing with a groin or something.
yeah, he probably tired too from not doing a lot, and stuff like that. But I mean, he's so skilled around the basket, and St. Mary's is chasing him, and of course
Ooh.
Utah State, BYU, Texas Tech, Iowa, and he like I think a kid like him, he's so unique, and he wants to touch the ball around the hoop, and that's not what everybody is anymore. But he
Right.
needs to um, he just needs to like go to the right place, no matter what.
Okay.
Go to the right
Yeah.
place, right?
You think
And
he
that's
gonna
with
grow
everybody. But
anymore?
I don't think so. You know,
Okay.
but I don't think it limits who he is. He's got long arms, and
Yeah,
he
he
knows
really
how to
does.
wall up. And
Yeah. He knows how to use the body too. The Jackson Holcomb kid did. He played. That's the one with the moppy hair, right?
yep, yeah, no, that's Zach Keller, the 6'9" kid.
Yeah. That Keller. That's my dude.
Yep,
He had a
he's
great show on this weekend.
he was good in Atlanta, and he's starting to blow up. I think guys like Eric Bossy, love him as a top 100 prospect, and
Kelly,
what he
that's right.
can do, and he just plays it. I mean, we got when you throw our front line, we have two of the best bigs I feel like
Yeah,
that can play in
yeah.
the country. If you line us up against anybody else, and it's just managing the bodies and managing the time after 4 games and seeing if you can stick with it. Hey, I gotta get this little girl to bed.
Okay. Man, I just
Sorry to
wanted to
hop
get in
off.
you guys on that, man. I
No,
definitely
and I
appreciate you coming
appreciate
on.
you.
No doubt at all,
Hey,
man. Hey, appreciate you coming on anytime. Like I said, I'll get back with you about the Austin tournament and so forth, man.
let me
August,
know. Let's talk.
yeah, August 20th is the date, so go ahead and start prepping on that, and then I'll start shooting you the numbers and all that as we go on. All right.
Okay, brother. I appreciate you.
Hey, there he is, y'all. Tim Davis, y'all of Utah Prospects. You take care, brother. You be careful.
Okay, be good. We'll see.
All right. Another time. All right. Man, fantastic dude right there, y'all. Man, I don't know if you guys understand where I'm going with with guys having guys like him on the show. Man, is to me imperative because it's giving you the audience an opportunity to see basketball in a different state. You follow what I'm saying? It's what are they doing and versus what we're doing, what they're seeing, what they think of us, as a state. I know I'm a DFW guy, but I keep trying to tell you guys all the time that I am more, what do you call? I'm more uh, Texas over everybody than anything. I do love my beloved DFW. We're number one in the state always, right? Good. That ain't gonna change for a while. Sorry, Jim Hicks. Love you to death, but y'all know the deal right now. Y'all know what's up. All right, so there he is, Tim Davis, Utah Prospects. If you guys didn't get a chance to see them, August 20th, the the ASAC uh, Nation Classic will be August 20th in Austin, and we will provide you guys with details as they come. A lot of stuff is still being ironed out. The gym has been closed as far as finalized, if you will, and where they're going to have it at and so forth. And like I said, so now the logistics of how many teams and what they're talking about doing is going to be next. As you know, last year, if you don't know, give you a little skinny on it, if you will. Last year, they invited 17U teams, 3 from Dallas, and those 3 teams were Southern Assault, Team FOE, that's Josh Woodson and Woody Terrell Woody, Vic Cochran. The third team was Taz Elite, which was a spinoff of Pro Skills, and because of the COVID, Pro Skills was not officially out there, if you will. And but they put a team with Cason Wallace, C.J. Nolan, and a couple other guys, T.J. Caldwell, a bunch of guys like that. Put that team together. Those were the first 3 teams. Those were the 3 teams from Dallas. You had ASAC Group, Austin team, Austin Pro Skills. You also had THP Elite, and then you also had San Antonio Next Level Raiders, the Houston Defenders, and what was the third team? What was the fourth team right there? I can't remember that last team now. Man, that's not good. All right, so anyway, so they did what they did was first, second, and third place. They gave out $1,500 for first, $1,000 for second, and then $500 for third place. Oh golly, I'm sorry, Rick. You're right. Hard work, Texas hard work. I guess because I don't know because they broke up a little bit. I guess I don't know if I wasn't really thinking about them. I don't know how, but yeah, Texas hard work. Yeah, it was. They were the night team. I'm sorry, and played pretty well too, man. You had Austin Nunez there who had a real good showing. Big Vince wasn't there. I think Vince had already left for La Lumiere, if you will, and so just do that right there. One of my mics went off right there. Let's turn that back on. In a second. All right, that's about to sign off. All right, hang on a second, y'all. Got to make sure this is going. That's the reason why that went out. All right, so long story short, just to give you an idea again on what such a great event this was, Craig Carlton was the host of this tournament, and he did a phenomenal job as far as having media in. He had all the top medias, people that could make it. You had Jim Hicks, you had Alan Branch, you had Brandon Jenkins from 247 Sports, you had Ani Umana, Tim Littlefield of the Texas Boys Hoops, um, uh, the guy from Central Prep, um, um, just a bunch of guys, man, that came in the building. The guy, all the Texas Hoops guys, Blue, Sam, and Derek were there. I mean, it was a great event, and it was fully sponsored as far as the hotels and so forth was concerned. So just an awesome job, man. That they put together, and like I said, you had live streaming, and to really kind of help send the 2021 class off on a better note. Again, COVID kind of really hurt a lot of those kids' recruitment, and so we ended up finding a way to make it happen for them, and to send them off on a better note. Some guys helped elevate their recruitment for the 22s a little bit by that, so we were definitely happy for that. So other than that, man, great tournament. I don't know what all the logistics are as far as how they're going to do everything this year yet. We haven't really had that final meeting as of yet. We are working on that. So stay tuned on that, and then we'll give you the skinny on those pretty soon. All right, so now I want to kind of direct into this weekend, man. Let me kind of pull this up a little bit. Um, who wants to smoke tournament, man? Who wants to smoke? What did you guys think of it? Those of y'all that are in the chat room right now, man, give me your thoughts about that, man. If who was the team that just really, really, turned it out for you? Anybody? I put that right there. All right, so I need to find the exposure, right? Schedule. Let's see the divisions. 11th grade standings. Pool A. All right, so last I tell you, one of the teams that I know this team lost one game. 3D Hoops, man, really, really, really caught my eye big time with the performance that they had. Sean Ward, man, is definitely one of the most masterful coaches in the game right now, and he showed exactly why Friday night against Knight Riders. Shout out to the Knight Riders, man. Keno, my homie, new friend I just met. Keno, shout out to you if you're looking at this tonight. Your team is a hell of a team. Ain't no doubt about that. But you got out of here with 2 wins. I think it was you went 2-1, and which is pretty good. I mean, I thought you were going to end up going possibly 0-3, but you did pretty good, man. You gotta look at here. Let me just go look at how y'all did this thing right here. Is it gonna give it to me like that or not? Nope, not gonna give it to me. Oh, TJ Ford's team went 3-1. Yeah, TJ Ford's team went 3-1. 3D Empire went 3-1. Drive Nation Houston, the red team, they went undefeated. It looks like 3-0. I'll tell you another team that I liked. Arizona reigns supreme. I didn't really get to really hone in on them, but I got a good look at them. Drive Nation EYBL team went 2-1. Texas Dynasty went 1-1. Lone Star Elite was 1-1. Utah Prospects went 2-2. Dallas Showtime went 1-2. Wow. Um, all right, Buddy Buckets was here. I didn't get to see Buddy Buckets. I do apologize to them on that. Man, Urban DFW went over. That's somewhat of a surprise there for me. Let me just do this right quick. Let's go get the Night Riders right quick. I want to see what they did right quick. Hang on. I'm sorry, y'all. Not coming up right. Night Riders. Their schedule right here. All right, so Friday night they lost a close one to 3D Empire, y'all. And I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but I was extremely impressed with. I'm gonna tell you, Ryan Agarwal dropped 25 in this game, and if you guys don't see what I see in this kid, there's something wrong. I'm glad that Stanford does, because Ryan, matter of fact, had 25. Above, let me say, above 20 in every game this weekend except for the last one against Drive Nation. Excuse me, against Dream Vision. And so you guys might want to, keep your lazy eye on that one, because that one was somewhat. That one was somewhat of a. I don't know if he was tired or maybe they were leaning on him. Dream Vision's has some big kids, man. They could really lean on him a little bit. So he only had like 7, I think, in that last game. But going back to the Night Riders game for 3D, even though Ryan dropped 25 and was just a monster scoring the ball for 3D, Anthony Black still found a way to impact the game. And I mean, at the end, I think what's the kid's name? Zarion. Let me pull this kid's up right here. Hang on a second, y'all. I want to make sure I get that kid's name right. That's not him. Is this him? Nope, that's not him. It's got to be him. Oh. Golly. Hang on. All right, so let me just do this. I got him right here. All right, so this kid's name is Josiah Gortman. Athletic point guard, 6'2", man. I mean, crazy handles, got a great pull-up game. And he's mean with that ball, man. He don't mind bullying you too if you're too light in the shorts, right? This kid has game, and Anthony Black just shut that thing down in the last minute of that game. I mean, some crucial block shots on the perimeter. Here you're talking about a 6'7" kid guarding a quick and strong point guard in Josiah Gortman. And I'm telling you, Josiah Gortman, it gets all kind of props from me. He's probably one of the best point guards that I've seen this year right now in that 22 class right now. And I'm telling you, that kid was strong, athletic, and very quick, and handles on that ball, like a yo-yo. I mean, it wasn't too far away from the body, none of that. I'm telling you, I don't know if you guys know what he looks like or not, but let me see if we get it right there. You see that picture right there? This kid right here, man. Woo! Let me do it like that. This kid right here. Something special right there, man. But Anthony Black, got 2 crucial blocks and maybe a steal, I think, on him down the stretch that helped seal the deal for 3D. 3D ended up winning that game over over the Night Riders. I think it was 81-76. The next game for 3D was the much anticipated Southern Assault matchup. Was definitely a lot of us feeling like this was going to kind of give us the telltale sign of who's the best in the DFW right now. And sure enough, man, two great coaches, X and O's. I'll give Vonzel that. I'm not going to short Vonzel any of that. As far as I know a lot of y'all think y'all see us, squabbing at one another, but I'm gonna always keep it real. Vonzel is a great X and O's kind of coach. He got Bobs over there on the bench with him, and I don't know how the hell that's working, but it's working. But the matchup to see them guys go head to head was pretty good, man, and pretty exciting. And their kids really stepped up, and really wanted to win it. I mean, Keontae George. We talked with Tim Davis earlier about what he feels about Keontae George, and the key phrase in that, man, that I was surprised to hear an outsider say was that off and on switch, doesn't seem to be going off as much as it was last year, and I liked hearing that. I mean, someone, definitely. Uh, well, let me say this. I think I know what I'm talking about when another guy validates what I've been saying about Keontae George. I mean, you sometimes it's hard to get up for every game, and I get that. You know what I'm saying? But when you are a certified killer, that's expected of you, right? They say, to whom much is given, much is required, right? So forgive me for trying to get what you're supposed to already present us with, right? So, but no, real talk, man. He was phenomenal again. Uh, I was sitting with some guys in that one game that uh, I was sitting actually, not the 3D game. I was sitting with Keno. That's when I met Keno. I was sitting with Mr. Keno, who's with Night Riders and at Duncanville, and you know Keno was saying some of that stuff that we all can go. Guy was saying, and really trying to get into Keontae's head. I don't see him being number 5 in the country, is what my man was saying, and at the end of the day, they ended up winning the game. Uh, Night Riders ended up pulling out 84-78. I just think sometimes, man, and I hate this for Vaughn and the Southern Assault team. Um, I think some of the guys in that game just forgot you know who they need to be, who they need to really be giving the rock to in the crucial. When it's time to, when the bills got to get paid and so forth, you got to have one guy go to the register and not not everybody. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think that's what kind of happened with Southern Assault losing that game. Just too many guys trying to do too much at the wrong time. I think was what I'm going to chalk that game up to, because I really felt that 3D, I mean, excuse me, Southern Assault had that game won. I mean, they were winning the majority of that game and ended up falling in the end. And but again, that stuff happens, I guess, right? So who else did we want to look at? Uh, Man, Drive Nation Black. They continue to roll out of Houston. They continue to roll. I think they went 3-0 as well. Uh, Very impressed with them. Dream Vision. I definitely want to say something about Dream Vision, man. The what is his name? Coat Keat, the 6'9" kid, no 7-footer. He's a 7-footer. Oh my goodness, this kid is a monster, man. I'm trying to see if I can bring that up for y'all right quick. See if I can bring this picture up. Non-video petition. Let's see here. Let's go here. Trying to see if I can bring it up. I'm trying to also learn how to do a lot of this stuff, y'all. So y'all gotta bear with me as I'm trying to do a lot of this stuff, man. To get us going. I had that figured out the other day, and now I forgot how to bring up the videos and the pictures of. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see if I can do this right quick. Want to see if I can see what we got right there. You gonna show it? Nope. Let me see. Hold on. Okay, that didn't work. So as you can see, I got some stuff I gotta work on right now, man. As far as being able to bring certain stuff up on here. Um, hmm. So anyway, I'm still learning to work on some of these things, video clips. How about that? Let me see if this will come up right here. Let me see. See if this one does anything. I want to bring this up right quick. Let's see. And these some just some guys that I was trying to see. Yeah, this is my guy. This is my guy right here. Y'all know this? It's not staying up long enough. Let me see if this. Okay, no, that's not saying that. That was a picture of Arturo Morris. Uh, just trying to give y'all some of the guys that I thought that just really stood up, man. I guess what I'm going to end up having to do on this is do it like this. Bring that back up. This is my guy, y'all, that I was telling y'all about earlier. The Josiah Gortman. You see him? It's not letting me keep it there for a while. All right, that was him. I really liked him. Now the guy to me that really stole the show, y'all. I don't know if you guys saw the 7-footer Khalil Ware of our all Arkansas Red. He was special, and I mean real special. Um, I definitely think that if we're labeling guys of potential pros that was in this tournament, and I think there were a few in there, this was definitely one of them. My man Khalil Ware was a bad dude. Dude could dominate inside the post and could step back and shoot the three, man. And I mean, sidestep, step back, whatever. He was letting that thing go, man. Real long and lanky. I mean, dude, had some putbacks. I mean, it wasn't dunks or anything, but he was grabbing that thing on one side of the rim and, really bringing it over to the other side of the rim and knocking, making that thing pop, man. I was, I was amazed at what I saw in that kid. I want to say this all years as Mr. Keontae George. I did get Mr. Keontae. Let's pull that up right there. But Khalil Ware, man, was all that in a bag of chips to me, man. And like I said, he blocked shots, he rebounded everything. That whole team was pretty nice. Another guy that was on that team that I was really high on. I'm gonna pull this up right quick. Bring the phone out a little bit, and all Arkansas Red. Where's my guy at? Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that on the next show. Monday nights, by the way, y'all. I'm gonna start doing Monday nights to where we're gonna we're gonna actually do nothing but what we saw right now. We're gonna highlight players uh, uh, from the not only just the DFW but the state of Texas. My DFW guy on the real though for this week is none other than my man Ryan Agarwal. Don't get me wrong, that's my DFW guy for the 17s. Uh, Dude was sensational. I'm telling you guys. I don't know what the guys were seeing in the 16s, man. I got some guys on the 16, dude, that really shot lights out. But before I talk about them shooters, man, this dude right here, can y'all see that? Let me bring I gotta go that way. I can't get that to do. All right, so Zayden High, y'all. Zayden High. I don't know if y'all know him from JL3, man. Oh my goodness. That kid right there is special. Zayden High, y'all, out of San Antonio. And I know maybe the rankers that be probably haven't seen enough of him as of yet to really have a decision on him. Um, but I'm gonna tell you, I've seen him 3 times now, and I don't know how this kid is not ranked. And the only reason he would not be ranked is if the rankers have not really seen too much of him, like kind of I have. And one thing about doing this ranking thing, y'all, I've learned that you definitely don't want to be a prisoner of the moment. Follow what I'm trying to say. You need to see the guys more than one or a couple of times, and I mean really look at them and so forth, especially when But I don't know, man. I see 6'8". I see a kid that can handle the rock in open space and with pressure on him. With a defender right there in his face. I see a kid that can blow by, a 3 or a 4. Um, and can also pull up off the bounce and pop that from the elbow from 3. Um, uh, I see a kid tough on the glass. I mean, this dude rebounds everything, man, and he makes passes. He makes he doesn't force a whole lot. I can't say that and how some kids you say you just want to see him assert himself a little bit more. I can't say that about this kid because this kid is playing on a good team and he does what he has to make plays for that team. So I don't know, man. I like what I saw in that kid. I got to be honest with that. I mean, that kid was pretty damn special. And so Zayden High, y'all, I'm telling you, Blue, Sam, Derek, all you guys over there at Texas Hoops, y'all need to get out there and see that kid play more often because that kid is legit. All you other ranking services, you need to see this kid play, because I'm telling you, that guy is definitely to me, top 10 potential in that class for the state of Texas. So I'm just saying, you know, that kid was pretty nice. Another kid, y'all, that not here from here, but I was really impressed with Jazz Gardner of Dream Vision. 2023 kid, 7-footer. Dude was solid in the post, good feet, catches everything. Nice post game, man. I mean, dude, can hit either over either shoulder. I mean, he was solid. Block shots, rebounds, everything, man. Gets up and down the floor pretty well. I liked him, man. Clay always has done good jobs or great jobs, fantastic jobs with bigs over his time over there with Dream Vision, and this guy here will be a part of that legacy. I do believe what's my guy's name? Chase Jeter was one of the originals that went on to play at Duke and so forth, and he was one of the bigs over there that kind of started everything off for them. Uh, so that's a 16 to really nationally keep your head, keep your head on the swivel. Of course, Brandon Garrison, out of Oklahoma for Team Griffin. He was here. He was fabulous. He dominated. Yeah, definitely think he's one of the best in this region. Definitely top player in this region. Long arm, 6'9", does everything. Can get to the rim, can shoot the jumper, mid range. Great hands inside the post. He can inside out shoot to death. I mean, it's hard to stop guys like that. Another kid that in that 16th group that shocked me a little bit, man. And I don't know why I'm kind of surprised because all the kids at 3D Hoops Academy, end up shining some kind of way. And this kid here has been catching my lazy eye for a while now, and that's Birdville's own uh, sophomore uh, Garrett Garrett Norman Normand, dude, man, can already, I saw him hit a jumper, hit a couple of threes, man, that really brought his team in contention to kept his team in contention to win some games, and even seen him climbing the rim a couple of times as well, trying to get some dunks here and there, man. That was the thing that kind of grabbed me and like, hey, hold on, dude. I know you can shoot the ball, but you dunking on people now? Now he missed a dunk on this one, but don't get me wrong, it was the effort. It was the fact that this dude went up to do that just stunned me. And he came down and he was like, yeah, I do this. Like, oh snaps, I didn't know. My bad. But yeah, he was good. I'm gonna tell you another guy to keep your lazy eye on in that 2023 class, man. That's going to come to a surprise to a lot of you guys in the South. This is Lancaster High School's head coach son. Kay Douglas has been burning some nets up over these last few tournaments, man. His jump shot, man, continues. I know he's a volume shooter and all that, but this kid really gets buckets for Urban DFW Elites 2023 team. Again, it's on the big stage. He continues to deliver. I was definitely impressed with what I saw in him. That's definitely some of the 16s that I liked. Drew Steffi was pretty solid. I kind of watched that, from afar, to see what was going on with him. He kind of, did some things, man, that again, he's playing on a pretty good team, man. You got Jacoby Walter, who was another, dude that was really looking good over there. You got, of course, you got Brandon Garrison on that squad as well. So a lot of the shots, the selections or the volumes that you're going to get on a team like that are kind of limited, but I think he's doing a fabulous job, helping out on the point guard spot. He's, showing some great wiggle now with good handles. I'm a little surprised at that right now, and not turning over the ball or anything like that. So definitely was impressed with what I saw in Drew Steffi. I'm trying to think of some other kids, man. I already talked about Keontae. I already talked about my dude Zayden High. Just looking over this right quick. JL3 Elite, man, 17s, man. I don't know what they went. Where did they go? What was their record? What was their record this week, man? I thought they played pretty well, man. Let me just pull that up right quick. I know they didn't win all their games, and I know some people were kind of disappointed in what they saw in them. But hang on, let me see what. All right, so I saw them play against All Arkansas Red, and of course, All Arkansas Red won that game. They couldn't do anything with. Matter of fact, that was the game that was billed to be the game, Friday night game against All Arkansas Red. It was going to be Big Vince, and I don't even want to attempt to say Vince's last name, because I know I'm going to mess it up. But y'all know Big Vince. Vince was going up against Khalil Ware in this matchup was billed as one of the top matchups of the tournament, and it was very good. I mean, I definitely think Khalil got pretty much the best of him, but Vince competed. Yeah, he got buckets, and the thing about Vince, man, Vince runs the floor, man. I mean, better than any big that I've seen in a while. This dude is running like he's a guard almost, and matter of fact, he ended up getting hurt towards the end of that game. He kind of had a high ankle sprain, to which limited him from doing what he had to do against Khalil. But he was done for the rest of the tournament. He didn't play anymore that weekend. But it was a good matchup. I did like that. JL3 won that game. Excuse me. Arkansas Red won that game 82-67. Uh, uh, the next game was Saturday. They ended up winning. Yes, winning against Lone Star Elite by 58-57. That was a game that I was really looking forward to because I don't know if you guys have kind of been watching my Twitter action lately, but I've been high on Dallas Hobbs, a Faith family. He's been playing real well. He's been, averaging about 20 something a game, and I was really looking forward to seeing him go up against Bryce Griggs and or Austin Nunez in this game, and the scoring production wasn't what I was hoping it would be for him. I think he had about 10 to 12. I can't remember what it was, but he had a high number of assists in that game as well, and might have had 10 assists, by the way. I mean, he was strong on the assists in that game. I just don't know officially where he was at on that, but anywhere from 8 to 10, it could have been. It's one of them games where it's good, but it didn't really stand out like you needed it for him. You know what I'm trying to say? You needed a 2010 game. You hit that 20 on them, and now we're really talking. You know what I'm saying? And so with the 10-10 kind of thing, you ain't really moving the needle because we don't know for sure on the assist category right now. So I need to see more out of that one. Don't get me wrong, kid is rising. You guys need to continue to keep your lazy eye on Dallas Hobbs. But going back to what we were talking about with JL3, man, they were here for the Oklahoma State tournament. I was not impressed with them at all. They got 30 pieced by 3D Academy, Who's Academy. I kind of gave it to them. I thought they quit, man. And I don't like quitters, especially when it's halftime. You know what I'm saying? And that early in the game, nah, man, we can't do that. Now you're supposed to be all these D1 players on this team. You got, of course, Vince was the only one I said that didn't quit, but you got guys, Chris Jones, Terrence Arsenault, Bryce Griggs, Austin Nunez, and so forth, and guys quitting at halftime, really? That's how it looked to me. But they bounced back, man. I like what I saw, in this game. They won this game. They could have very well lost it, but the effort was there. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I like seeing. The effort to try to win the ball game was there. They won 1 point. They ended up getting beat 95-84 to Dream Vision. Dream Vision was just too big, especially with JL3 not having big vents in the paint area. But they hung tight. They fought hard to win that game. They just couldn't close it out. And then the last game on Sunday, they ended up taking out Utah Prospects, 79-67. So I will say this: I definitely liked what I saw in Bryce Griggs this weekend. I loved what I saw in golly, I done forgot my kid's name from Marshall. Let me see, Marshall High School, I believe. Yep, I lost it, but that was a good game though, 79-67. All right, so a couple of things I want to talk about now. Some the 15s that kind of stood out to me on the JL3 team. I thought that the Southern Salt JL3 team was loaded. Oh my God. JL3, Jeremiah Evans, 6'8" kid, out of Southwood. This is also the team that Mercy Miller, Master P, Mercy, not Percy, Miller, was huge, man, for them, for JL3. Another guy that I liked for them was Jarrett Washington. He's out of Christian Academy of Louisville. Dude could really shoot that ball. Mercy Miller, man, is handles great, handles the ball well, gets buckets, tough defender. I mean, dude really is a strong playmaker that I like for them. Um, Another 15U guy that I like, Triumph, and I didn't really watch a whole lot of 15Us this weekend, but man, Jaylen Jackson, 6'7" kid out of Nimitz, Urban Nimitz. Hey man, y'all better watch out for that kid. He's long, he's raw, and if I know the Triumph staff like I do, they traditionally know how to work players. They know what they're doing. That kid has got a future over there. So stay tuned for that kid. Another youngster that I was really liking this weekend. Hmm. Lake Highlands is in the house. Lake Highlands, Coach Duffy, man, you got a dude. Duffield, you got a dude, man. And I saw him a couple of times at Langston, but I think now the light bulb seems to be clicking on. Samson, Alton, 6'9", 2023 kid, really nice. Long block shots, was trying to dunk that thing. I mean, had a couple of dunks. Nice little feathery touch around the rim. Definitely was impressed with him. Um, Man, he played with NP Force. Let me not forget that NP Force, y'all. My boy's name is Samson Alton, Aleton, and he goes to Lake Highlands. He was pretty solid. I was definitely liking him this weekend as well. Those are my solid guy lists that I enjoyed watching this weekend. Let's put that right there. Who else kind of stood out, man? I don't. Let me go. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I ain't even been in the chat room. I do apologize. Okay, so nobody put anything in the chat. But any team out there, man, that you guys saw, man, that you think we need to chat about right now? Anybody in the chat room that want to talk on that? Feel free to let me know. I forgot. I kind of took that down for a minute. I didn't mean to, but yeah. I'm going to tell you somebody else who's really starting to catch my eye right now. Come on, guys. Is Keon Williams really catching your eye, or am I just on something right now? Because I'm telling you, this dude is taking on the role of co-pilot very well for Southern Assault 17s, man. I mean, he's getting some buckets, and so continue to keep your lays out. Keon Williams out of Mansfield Legacy. ASAC had a player that, I'm sorry, 23, 6'7", dude by the name of MJ Thomas out of Calvert High School. Y'all better, I'm telling you right now, this kid is playing up. He's up on playing teams for ASAC, and dude is getting better and better. I saw all of their games, and double every game for him. This weekend he played in 2 of the 3, so he didn't get. No, I'm sorry, I'm lying. He played all 3 games, and I'm telling you, he had double every game. Dude is a killer on the glass, block shots, has a nice mid-range game from the free throw line. No problem getting offensive rebounds too. I saw one game he had like about 7 offensive rebounds, and I'm telling you, he's just a monster on the glass. So very very excited to see him doing this thing. PD, what up, Pete? Say hi to my boy, my dude right there. PD just came on. But yeah, my dude, MJ Thomas, y'all, out of Calvert High School. I'm telling you, y'all better be looking out for this kid. Dude has some long arms, man. It seems like he's not through growing. So keep lazy out on that dude right there. That's MJ Thomas for ASAC Elite. For ASAC Elite. Robert Jennings, by the way, man, and Jordan Gransberry. Jordan Gransberry of Richland High School, Robert Jennings of Taka, played very well in one of the games that I saw, man. Robert is continuously, getting to the rim, getting buckets, absorbing contact, and finishing strong, playing with a little bit of a mean streak. I just wish, his brothers, them just hit him with a shovel in the back of the head before he come to play, so he ready to have that mean streak in him. You know what I'm saying? We gotta feed him rocks and gravel, make him mad. You know what I'm saying? Get him angry, because when this dude does that, this kid can really go far as a prospect. Robert Jennings of Taka, I'm telling you, man, continue to watch him. Jordan Gransberry, y'all, very athletic, good speed. Kind of like he had been a raw prospect that is really starting to figure things out right now. He's extremely athletic, defends hard, gets to the bucket, knows how to shoot, can knock down open shots, man. He's at Richland. I think Coach Danny Henderson is going to do great things with him. Be on the lookout for him. I told y'all about my guy, Mr. Sanford Alton. Here's another kid. Where's that kid at? Tyler Andrews, y'all. Tyler Andrews is a young man out of Illinois that just came down here. He's a 2021 kid, and it's talking about reclassifying and so forth. And 6'6" kid for Lone Star Elite. They say he's going to post grad and so forth, possibly. But I'm telling you, I know some JUCOs that really need to get on this young man. This kid is athletic. He can get to the rim. He rebounds on both ends very well. He has a nice, good, touch on his shot and so forth. Good frame too, man. I mean, he does some things in there that a lot of these young men don't do around here. So I think you need to, keep your lays out on a guy like that as well. Tyler Andrews, he's just moved down here from Illinois. When you get a chance to see Lone Star Elite, check him out. He's a good one to really look at. I saw RL9 a lot this weekend, and let me just pull that up right quick. Number 5, Josiah McWright out of Cy Falls. Oh my goodness, y'all! This kid has some hops. I don't know what his ranking is or anything like that, because I don't really look at the rankings, honestly. I just, I know I said, hey, man, the Zayden High needs to be ranked. That's because, a couple people told me this dude even ranked. And I'm like, what? He pulled up, sure enough, he's not ranked. So, this kid here, I don't know if this kid's ranked or not, but this kid's athleticism was extremely elite. Dude could really go get it off that rim and then put it back in there with no problem. Dude had a nice little jump shot, can get up and down the floor, great speed, good cutting, abilities and so forth, can stop on a dime, and go a different direction. Those kids over there are RL9, extremely athletic, man, and that one there has super bounce with them. There's another kid, Chandler Collins Johnson, number 10 for them. He goes Atascocita. He has some hops. A little bit timid. I'm still Still waiting for somebody to punch him in the chest a little bit, get him toughened up a little bit, stick his chest out a little bit more. Them kind of kids right now, they're just waiting for something. So I think when he figures that out, I think he could be really nice for Atascocita. I'm trying to look here. Um, uh, I don't know. We talked about furniture moving. Guys already moved. Switch teams already. One, Caden Gums, who I have been high on for the past year. He was with ASAC, the youngsters, last year. And he started out this year with Pro Skills. And now he's made the move to JL3 Elite 15s. He was solid. You want to talk about a guy that can pick you up 94 feet, oh my goodness. Caden Gums is a dude. And I'm telling you, I hate to owe him money because he looks like he knows how to collect. And so I'm just telling you, man, as he grows into, uh, what's expected of him over there at JL3 Elite, I think he's going to have a special recruiting year or year to come, if you will. So keep your eye on him. Caden Guns, he's at San Marcos High. Also, speaking of San Marcos High, man, congratulations going out to my dude, Steve Pinchback, who was the coach at San Marcos. He's now at, what is it, Angelina State? San Angelo. So he'll be as the new head girls basketball coach and assistant athletic coordinator at San Angelo ISD. So going to give the girls a shot now, Steve. I see you, man. Anyway, congratulations to you, man. I know you got that bug, man. You got that coaching bug in you, man, and I totally get that. So we definitely wishing you well over there. The job at Skyline is still open, y'all. I'm waiting on the finalist list now. It's some dudes' name in there, in this thing, man, and um, I was looking at Paul Graham as the head coach that was there for the last few years, and he's retiring, and I've been getting calls about this job religiously. I'm trying to pull something up right quick. Hang on a second. The I'm trying to think of the coach that is there already with him. Hang on a second. I don't like not having my stuff together with that, but the assistant coach has been there for a while now, and I know there's a concentrated effort about trying to get him on as the head coach over there. But ooh wee, man, there are some guys in the running for that job. I don't know if you guys know or not, but man, it's I don't want to go ahead and say who's all trying to get that job, but I don't know what kind of change as of yet that the DISD people are trying to make for the for Skyline High School, but it's from looking at some of the guys on the list, it's going to be tough to stay with a guy that has already been there in the last few years. That I was trying to find Nick Harris is my guy's name. You know what? Let's do this. I can tell you right now. I'm sorry, y'all. I just had a brain freeze, if you will, on that. Head coach. Hang on a second, y'all. Oh, why? In a minute. I don't know. I I can't see who it is that he had. I can't think of the coach's name. I'm sorry, y'all. Oh, Stacy Stanley. Stacy Stanley went to Skyline, played with Larry Johnson, coached with C.J. Miles and Marcus Garrett, and was assistant on the only team to go state. Served the program for 20 years. Is an elite human. Shame on Skyline. if he's not the next head coach. And that's my dude Nick Harris, y'all. Excuse me, like Nick Harris, Nick Graham. God, I'm tripping. Nick Graham is really spoken passionately about that. But I'm gonna tell you, Nick, it's a lot of dudes in the running, for that's like coming with some heat on the wall as well. And I don't know exactly what it's going to take for Skyline right now. I don't know if the best thing for them is to have somebody that was already there, in the last few years. I don't know if maybe new blood is the answer. I don't know. You definitely want to always see a guy like Coach Stanley, who's been there, served his time for a long time, and who actually wants that position. You would like to see him get that position, but a lot of times, man, doesn't always work out. Doesn't always work out like that, man. So hopefully, the people at DISD do the right thing as far as the coaching decision, and at least be upfront with why the decision was made to where it was, and just go from there. Um, I don't have an opinion on that. Like I said, I just know that there are some guys in there that I know there's some guys in there that really want to get that job and take it to another level. So, um, and just leave it at that. All right. So we said congratulations to Pinchback. Hopefully, Coach Stanley gets that job for Skyline. Nothing else new in news right now. Let me see. We're in the chat room. Nothing there. All right, there it is. I just wanted to give you guys uh, a quick little recap, if you will, on the Who Want the Smoke tournament. Again, shout out to 3D Hoops Academy, Sean Ward, and his team, for the fabulous performance they put up this weekend. Definitely want to send a shout out to Southern Assault as well for the magnificent performance they gave us. Houston Hoops, not Houston Hoops, Dry Nation Black, Houston. I saw them a little bit, man. They got some guards that can shoot the ball. I want to send a shout out to them. They played very well this weekend. By one game, seeing Texas Impact for the first time this year, they won. Congrats to TJ and his staff on that victory. Other than that, y'all, like I said, that's been the show for this week. Definitely want to thank Utah Prospects coach Tim Davis for joining us tonight. Next week we're going to look at we'll put the microscope on the referees. We're going to talk about the referees in the game. We're going to have some referees on here right now. Not right now, but right then and there next week to discuss the state of the game right now. What is it like from the referee view? From the eyes from the refs. So I'm going to have a few of them on, give you guys an opportunity to ask some questions about it and go from there. Next week, like I said, referee time, baby. Y'all ready? All right. Again, I'm Paul Miranda with the Real Talk Nation. Definitely appreciate you joining me today. I hope that y'all continue having a great evening. This is the Real Talk Nation trying to give you something new, something fresh. Definitely always going to keep it different from all the rest, right? All right, we out.